Alright, what's up, friends? Welcome back to Planet Coaster 2, and this tilt coaster, of course. And how cool of a shot is this, by the way? I think it was a pretty cool shot. So, just right before it latches into place, and kind of got that cloudiness in the background, too, which is pretty epic, if I do say so for myself. And this support structure, just incredible. Not my work, but of course I'm gonna use it. The lift hill supports were from me though. The rest of the supports were me, and the track layout, of course. But yeah, absolutely love this shot here though. Color scheme's pretty nice. I like that. I always love gray supports. They're like one of my favorites. Is using gray supports on coasters. I don't know. They just it kind of goes with anything. Gray supports just look fantastic, in my opinion. They can go with like any track color too. So, but anyways, welcome to another stream, guys. We're just gonna be kind of doing some shenanigans today. Might work on this a little bit more, slowly but surely, honestly, and maybe we'll work on a few other things potentially. I'm not entirely sure. Last stream we kind of just tried to figure out that mod, and spent a lot of time trying to figure that out. So, but today we're gonna try and maybe be a little more productive. Hopefully, I'm not sure. We'll see. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. Who knows? It just all depends on where we're at. But why don't we get started here? We're going to start off by potentially... let's get a few things going here. Let's start with a support towards the bottom of the drop here. That's a good starting point, right? I think it is. Let's go ahead and get to our booster supports. There we go. We're going to continue to use these connectors. I think it works well. I should probably get some reference photos of like Siren's Curse or maybe some other modern, either that or Circuit Breaker, one of the two. Kind of see what kind of supports they have on their first drops, but then again, those have twisted drops. This one does not, so it is a little bit different, if you ask me. So I would imagine we do that, but I'm going to go ahead and just get up a couple of references here of Siren's Curse. See if we got anything on kind of like how those supports are. I would say they're pretty basic, probably. Like there's probably nothing too crazy going on there. I do see some construction photos here. Maybe those can be of use to me. Potentially. Trying to find some good construction photos. Looks like all the track work's almost pretty much done for Siren's Curse. I'm not sure if they started testing yet or what. There is potential. I could be going to Cedar Point this year. It just kind of depends if stuff falls into place. And if I do, I definitely want to try and get on Siren's Curse. I want to go when that opens, of course. That would be ideal. So, let's go ahead and head into here. Let's get a connector piece. Usually I just use like a flange or something. But we need to find the correct size. That one. I've been doing it gray or yellow. Gray color. Is that the same gray? It looks like it. We need thinner pieces actually. And again, we're going to try and not go too far off the ground there. I'm no engineer, but I would probably have, like, some sort of support structure like this for first drop. bottom of the first drop. Something along these lines. Alright, let's kind of like a high stress point, but working on area similar to Adventure Port at KI. Nice. Always got to have that inspiration for things. But a Dueling Infinity, that's pretty cool as well. Just saw that. Classic aerial looper, corkscrew. Always fun. Alright, we'll get one towards the bottom here. Might even go just a little higher. Right above ground. Just like so. Beautiful. Probably want to put one right at the bottom as well. That kind of just goes straight into the ground, but honestly, you probably want to go straight on the ground, like perfectly. Save. Make sure we have this yellow saved. That way we can recolor it properly. Antique cars. I've never really added antique cars to my parks. I really have. It's not something I've really done. You know what's something I can't remember? I cannot remember for the life of me if Planet Coaster 2 has go-karts yet. Did go-karts return? I'm about to go look here in a sec. I just can't for the life of me remember if they did or not. They did return. Track rides. They did, okay. We do have go-karts. Yeah. I mean, you can't have a theme park game without go-karts. It's just one of those that I couldn't remember. Like, I'm pretty sure they do, but I couldn't remember. Because I never add go-karts very often to my parks, but... And I should have some go-karts. It's just something I didn't really remember if they did or not. We're gonna eliminate some piece counts here and just like that. Ba-dum, ba-da-dum. Beautiful. Go-karts are so OP in Planet Coaster 1. I'm guessing, like, you say that as in, like, guests really liked them a lot. Plop down some go-karts and they would be packing into the park. I mean, to be honest, they've always been OP in, like, every theme park game. Let's be real. Infinity is a shuttle as well, like Palindrome. Oh, nice. thicker beams. This one. You know, set -2 for arrows. -2. I think I need to use just that part. This one would probably go somewhere around right here. Doesn't do that. I want to get this on the workshop. Of course, you would need the mod for it. Anyone that would want to download this, of course, is going to need the mod, but, you know. It's alright. I don't mod games very often. Like, I've always preferred to kind of play games as they're released sometimes. However, Planet Coaster is kind of different for me. Mostly because it allows with just more freedom. Mods can just allow a little bit more freedom, and you can just allowing you to do more with more than what the game offers. Even if it doesn't make sense, like... And since it's kind of more of a creative game, I don't mind using mods. Obviously, like, online games and such, kind of want to be careful with those, because you could get, like, banned and stuff, but games like Planet Coaster is different for me. I think it's okay in this, and it seems like Frontier doesn't mind it that much. A lot of... Some developers hate people that mod games, but, like, some of them embrace it. Like, man, these guys are cool what they're creating. I think Frontier's kind of quietly like that they don't mind a crazy ton of what the modders are doing, but kind of just accept it. They don't, like, make a big deal out of it. And then you have, like, I think it was like Hogwarts Legacy. They actually have, like, their own modding page now. They added it to the menu, which is just crazy. Like, I love it when developers completely, like, appreciate modders and such, and kind of the stuff that they do. Hey yo, what's up? Is there a Discord where all the mods are? Because I can't find anything on Nexus. Yeah, a lot of the mods have been going on at Coaster Sim Society. So that Discord server, there's actually a mod testing, some mod testing channels on there, and that's where I've gotten all mine, or pretty much a majority of mine, is from the Coaster Sim Society. And they have all those on there. And you can actually test mods while they're still kind of being developed a little bit still too. That's what I recommend, because that's where I got a lot of my mods that I'm using, so. And there's a lot of very talented modders in there, so. And they do end up sharing a lot of the stuff that they work on, so. And allow you to test. Like, a lot of these aren't fully released. Some of these mods aren't, like, I guess, completely released properly. So, like, they're kind of in a beta or alpha stage. Like the Swing Launch, the Switch Track mod that I just installed the other day. That one is still very much alpha, I think. kind of in an alpha phase. Trying to debate if I want this to go through here or we should slightly move this support over here so it's not going to be in the station. Kind of like that. And this, we can put another one here that goes kind of over there. It's the thing with custom supporting, sometimes you can gotta be a little creative with your placements of supports sometimes. I'm not the greatest at custom supporting, but probably honestly I'm doing this the slow way too. Like I should have started from the top and then did that. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm again trying to do my best to do a lot more streaming more often now, especially since I'm having rendering issues on my videos right now and I can't really get videos out effectively. Still haven't really had time to look into that too much, so mostly just been saying let's just do some streams, chillax, and still get some stuff done, you know? Snap distance tool is very helpful. Yeah, it is. I feel like I need to use it more often than I do. I find myself, I don't want to say forgetting about it, but like forgetting about it basically. I do find myself forgetting about that sometimes. And it's very useful if you want to get like, make stuff very symmetrical on your buildings and such and get those all kind of properly in there, you know? Very, very useful. Very much appreciated feature that was added in Planet Coaster 2. For supports too. I mean, I don't really care too much if the supports line up, so it might make things a little quicker potentially, but I don't typically use them on supports very often. I see what you mean though. So obviously if you used them on like say supports like this is just going to be example. You added the snap distance on, it just snaps perfectly to the edge each time like that, so I definitely understand. But to me, I don't usually do that. Like, I don't think it matters. The only reason why I don't is because when I, at least for this build, is because, like, I want my supports to be above ground. That way when I place this down, or, like, because I'm trying to make it into a nice blueprint to where, like, it won't be super raised off the ground. And the way to do that is to make sure everything's kind of level with the ground. It's a good way to do that. That's the main reason why I don't really use it, because like by the time I get there I don't want to have to switch it on and off and such, but very, very great tool to use, and I find myself forgetting about it sometimes. And I wish I didn't forget about it, because I've been using it more and more, but I need to remember to use it way more often than I do. Try to use as few pieces as possible, that's true too. Especially when you're doing a blueprint, you want to try and make it to where you're not using too many pieces. I should have placed this better. Oh, we're just gonna get rid of it. actually what I'm going to do. We're going to get this exactly where we need it. I don't want it to be completely vertical. I want it at the angle that I'm going to have the support piece. So I'm actually going to rotate it a little bit this way. Move it a bit more this way too. I get it placed right so I can really place the support piece exactly where I want it. Perfect. Now we're going to rotate it this way. Is this realistic placement of supports? Probably not, but I'm not an engineer by any means, and I don't claim to be. I do my best, though. Alright, that would put that there, which is good. Hold on. Alright, so I've had something come up, and I have to be back for a few. Hopefully it won't take too long. In the meantime, I might keep the POV running for you guys so you guys have something to look at while I'm gone, so if that sounds good to you guys. I will try not to be too long, though. But anyways, so I'll probably leave a pinned comment or something, so if anyone joins the stream, they can know where I'm at. I know it kind of sucks, but I gotta go do something real quick. And hopefully it won't take too long, so. But again, for you guys, we can start this so you guys can, have something to look at while I'm gone, okay? You guys can just keep watching the POV. Don't know how many times we're gonna ride before I come back, but so that way you can look at something. That way, keeps you guys a little entertained, right? But yeah. I will be right back. I'm gonna put that right there in the message, so that way if anyone new comes in, or if you guys are in the chat, you want to let everyone know that I'll be right back. But alright, I'll see you guys in just a few. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy this POV who knows how many times until I come back. So I hope it won't take long, but it will be BRB. So bye-bye. Be right back. Have fun. yeah, we're getting sci-fi, as I was saying in the messages. Sci-fi theme is going to be next. Or it's going to be in the May update. In the May update, we got Western back. Also, some of the missing pieces from Western are returning as well. So if you notice, there was a couple of missing items from when Western returned. I think they confirmed already that some of those are coming back in this update or tomorrow's update as well. And I have noticed that as well. Some of the pieces that we didn't get back are going to be back in tomorrow's update too. So that's cool. It took so long. I almost have cat. It didn't take that long. Wasn't that long. Alright, so let's get a few more here. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Is that? No, it's not. I did not account for this. That one should be okay. I just need to make sure this one is not slanted, otherwise that wouldn't make sense. I think it's good, though. If not, no one will notice it. No one will notice. We're gonna take this and we're gonna slightly rotate it a little bit more. Just a little bit. Bum bum. Alright. That is some support work right there. I think I might place a couple more, and then I kind of want to work a little bit on. This is, again, kind of one of those projects where I just do, like, tiny bits and pieces at a time, but don't finish it in one sitting, or don't do a ton of work in one sitting. That's kind of what this project's kind of become. Mostly because it's not, like, my main project by any means or anything like that. It's just kind of like a little side project that, like, whenever I feel like working on it, that's when I work on it. Which isn't a ton of the time. That one's already pretty well placed. Oh. But thank you guys for your patience there for a moment. You guys stuck around that whole time. I appreciate it. I understand why people didn't, but if you didn't, that's okay too. Hello? Actually, something like this. What is this? Messing with me a little bit. Those support slightly smaller, it'll be fine. There we go, we got a nice little supported turnaround now. Hardest part is ideas, just having a flow of ideas and inspiration. Yeah, it can be tough. I've been in a creative block many times. It's really just like, the best way to get inspiration, I think, is just kind of like, go out there and watch content of other people's stuff, and honestly, even watching like real live rides and coasters and stuff, like just watching that real stuff, you know, actually finding real stuff to inspire something off of, you know. Like for this instance, I wouldn't say this has like a direct inspiration, but like definitely the modern tilt coasters that are out there, so like Siren's Curse, Circuit Breaker, you know, kind of like those rides are kind of the ones that I've kind of looked at, but I wanted to have like a straight drop instead of a curved drop like those other ones. So I think wait, I think it's a straight drop for Circuit Breaker. Rollback option or a valley option for other coasters. Fails, go through layout of your coaster. I think it'd be kind of cool if there was like a breakdown that made for some reason made the ride go slower, and then you had a valley. I think this would probably never happen, but I think it would be awesome if there could be a ride breakdown, say on a lift hill, and then they have to do an evacuation off the lift. I think that'd be cool, and you'd have to see the guests actually walk down the catwalk. I don't think anything like that would ever happen, or anything like that would actually be made, or, you know, end the game, but I think that'd be such a cool idea, just ride evacuations. I would love an operation mode, too, to where you can actually operate your rides, kind of like in No Limits 2, where you can actually have full control of your rides and actually operate it yourself. I think that'd be a cool, fun feature, you know. I went to Chaos. Yeah, some of the best inspiration I get is just when I visit parks, to be honest. Like, that's sometimes when I get the most inspiration, is just visiting other parks and such. All right, let's see. Let's start with a roof. We can find a good roof. I'm excited to get like all the previous themes back into Planet Coaster 2 from Planet Coaster 1. Very excited for that because that means we're going to be getting a lot more pieces. And that's what I really want right now, is just more pieces. I think that's what the game desperately needs right now, is more building pieces and just more stuff. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, after we get all those pieces back in, you know, we'll have all the Planet Coaster 1 base stuff, all the base themes, you know, like sci-fi, Western. We already got Western back, but sci-fi is coming next. We know that for sure. But if we got like sci-fi, which is obviously next, and then fantasy and pirate. I really hope we get pirate back. I'm sure we will, but I want pirate back. Fantasy will be nice to get back to, but I really want pirate. Give me pirates back. Arg. But once we get all those back, and then we also have the Planet Coaster 2 themes, you know, that's a really good spot to be in, I think. And then, obviously, we'll have whatever DLC comes afterwards. Fun to roleplay, though, yeah. Might be fun for Sim, but from a gameplay standpoint, I can see a lot of people disabling it. Well, I can see that. Like, I think it would be nice to have as just, like, an extra option. Like, it's not required. You can just, like... Oh, I would even be fine if it was, like, an extra cheat or something where you have to, like, rename one of your peeps, like, one of the guests, and it be triggered that way, like, as a ride operation mode. Like, that's what I would kind of think of it as, not, like, a part of, like, a gameplay mechanic, like, part of the simulation aspect where you have to build your rides and stuff. Just kind of, like, a fun little... Almost like a little mini-game built into the game, if that makes sense. Are we getting sci-fi this update, or in May? It'll be in May. They haven't officially announced that the sci-fi theme is coming, but they hinted, the way they hinted everything, it's sci-fi. Yeah, sci-fi is coming back for the next one, for May. So they didn't officially announce that, but it's 100% sci-fi is coming back for the next update. I know that for the fact on the last Unlocked stream, they were really bad at hiding it. Like it's 100% sci-fi, and it's gonna be in the next update. All right, so we're gonna do this with the unload station. Gonna be like that. It's kind of like the shaping I want to do for this station building. They weren't even a little bit subtle. No, they were just like, they said stuff like laser focus, or like, I forgot what other things they said, but they made it 100 super crazy obvious that it's sci-fi, so that's the theme that's going to be returning next. And it's going to be for the May update, so not this update, but for next month's update. I am loving these monthly updates, though. I hope they can keep that trend going, because we're just getting so much content in the game very quickly, and I absolutely love that. So I hope they can keep it up. I don't know if it'll slow down after the May, because we don't have a roadmap after May, but I really hope they do keep it up, though. With the amount of updates we're getting. Alright, what texture do we want to do for the floor here? Wooden texture, or we can do a concrete texture. Probably want to go with like the plaster. Marble solid, panel, plaster. We'll probably just do plaster and make it like a gray, dark gray. I think that's what I'm going to use. But instead, let's do it with the walls and use the freeform piece. I think that's going to be the best move here. That way we have a little bit, quite a bit more flexibility over this piece. I can build it exactly the way I want it. There we go. And we'll go ahead and go ahead and use snap distance. I don't use it enough. I need to start using snap distance more often. And then my idea here is to connect these together with the unload station. That way it looks like a flawless station, like it's all connected, you know? That way they look like they're connected. So you don't have that gap in between either. How is this slightly off? I don't get it. I lined it up perfectly with it, but it's still slightly off. Somehow, it's slightly off. Alright, let's go ahead and select all of this then. Turn off snap distance. And get away with just moving it over slightly. That way? No, I cannot. Oh, did that fix it? Did I get it? Did I realign it perfectly? Yes, we did. Okay, we got it. We're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Alright, we're gonna take the rest of this, rotate it this way. Go down like that. Do we have confirmation will continue in June? They have not done anything past May. From as far as I'm aware, there's no roadmap past May. When they did the roadmap, it was only through May. And I don't know if we're going to get a new roadmap after the May update, or maybe in the next unlock stream, maybe they'll reveal a little bit more, but I have not heard any more information about it, personally, so. You, like, get more perfect there. I think that's the closest we're going to get is right there, unfortunately. But you can see, like, this with the unload station. The idea is that it looks kind of like a continuous spot. And I'll put, like, some gates here to kind of break them apart, but... Do we know at which time the update will come? Usually it is at very early for the US. So if you're in the US, it's like, for me personally, I think it's like 5 a.m. for me. So like I usually don't have to worry about it because I'm usually asleep when it comes out. I'm not up yet. But I think it's like evening for anyone in the UK, or like early evening. I don't know for sure. I can't remember. I don't know my time zones very well, so as well as I should. But it's pretty... It comes out pretty early if you're in the US. I know that. At least that's what it usually is. About most of the time. I'm going to take all of these pieces. We are going to rotate it and also put a base piece underneath right here on the ground level for the pit area. So it's not just grass. Alright, that's looking pretty solid. Looking forward to the restaurants. Yeah, they are really nice because they're more like Planet Zoo. I've got to mess around with them a little bit because Frontier did send me an early beta code. So I've got to actually already have hands-on with the restaurants. I'm not allowed to show any footage till tomorrow. And everything, but... Which kind of sucks. I wish I could show off footage early. But Frontier does not allow that, unfortunately, so... They don't want any of that footage out. Probably because it's beta, so I can kind of understand. Because there are still a few bugs in the beta build that I have access to, and they've already informed me that they've already informed, or in the email that they are aware of some of the issues, and they've listed some of the issues that they're aware of, and they will be fixed by the launch. So the launch of that update. So which is nice to see. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this extra platform for the unload station that we don't need. right here. I'll have a little bit sitting there, that's fine. Alright, that's pretty good. I wanted to try and include an unload station here. Option for Planet Coaster 1 version as well. I don't think it's really needed. I mean, this version is perfect, in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's very simple too. You just plop down. It's not exactly like this, but you just plop down one of the box, you know, the kitchen and / serving area, and then you just connect your seats to it. You know what I mean? Restaurants would be a nice addition. We just wish the game had more procedural tools for fencing, custom supports, or walls can move away from the 4-meter grid. I agree on that. Like, you know how you have in Planet Zoo, how you create your habitats, and you have, like, that, you know, line builder for, like, fences and stuff? That would go a really long way in Planet Coaster to have something like that. And then if you had, like, a custom support builder that automatically attaches and you can custom place your supports and then have like a tool of what kind of supports you can use, so you can have like these normal supports which you would use a lot, and then for very complex pieces like this, just continue to allow us to use the piece by piece builder for, like, say if you're building something like this, obviously you can't generate that, but for like simple supports, being able to place those anywhere along the track that we want with like different thicknesses. So we can have like a couple different styles like of thickness, of how thick we want the supports. I think that'd be kind of a nice touch. And you just kind of like click and pick where you want that support. And then an option to where you can ignore like collision features as well. That's also something new in the new update, is that you're going to have the ability to place coaster supports on pads. Pads, you can make it to where your pads will not disappear, or your supports won't disappear if it's over a path. So, pretty cool. It's already kind of in the game for the Aero Corkscrew. Do they even have the alternate supports in Planet Coaster 2 for the Aero Corkscrew? As far as I remember, they didn't actually add the supports. Like, they had the alternate supports, unless they added it and I didn't see it. Where's the corkscrew at? You have to use the in-game corkscrew, too. Because in Planet Coaster 1, you could use the alternate supports. Oh, they do have it. Okay. I think that wasn't available at one point. It's kind of glitchy, though, because, like, it's either on or off, but, like, there's nothing on this. Maybe one of my mods is messing with it, but, like, blank. But it is there. Okay. Good to see that that's still there then. Like, last time I remember that wasn't in Planet Coaster 2, so it's there. I'm glad to see that that's there. Maybe they added it after one of the updates. Yeah, cool. Excited to see what continue after the current roadmap. Would be cool if they continued with monthly updates, and really hope to get stuff. Planet Coaster 1's DLCs. I would love some Planet Co 1 DLCs as well. Like, some of the DLCs I want Adventure to come back, Spooky to come back, and Studios. Those are the 3 main ones that I would love to see come to Planet Coaster 2 again. The rest of them I could give or take, but how was that already in Planet Coaster 1? Yeah, that was already an option. The alternate supports for the corkscrew, that was in Planet Coaster 1. I used them. I didn't see it in Planet Coaster 2 up until just now, so I'm glad to see that they are indeed in Planet Coaster 2. So, because the last time I remember, they weren't there. So I don't know if they added them, or I'm just dumb and just couldn't find them. Who knows what it was. Alright, I think we're going to use these panel pieces as the base of the station. RMC my home wooden roller coaster that is relatively unknown roller coaster in park. Any tips for RMC wood coasters, especially one requiring a twisted drop? I've had my fair share of RMC park or rides in Planet Coaster. I don't have like any crazy tips except like you kind of outline the new coaster on top of the old one and then just do the elements you want. So it's kind of a little bit of a interesting process if you haven't done it before, but I'm going to utilize the snap distance tool here. Because again, I don't use it enough and I need to use it more often. Frontier, thinking people want Studios DLC for the movie effects, but what they really want are the generic cars to populate their parking lots. I'm going to be honest, that's a good reason why I want them as well. Is just to have cars again. I mean, you're not wrong there, because I legit want that as well for cars to populate my parking lots. Like, that's legit a big reason why I want Studios back. You're 100% correct on that. Yeah, World's Fair and Vintage were okay, but Spooky Adventure and Studios were awesome DLCs. Yeah, those are my favorite ones, and I think they need to come back. Yeah, I want to see more animatronics come back from, like, the Studios had some really good animatronics as well. So, yes, I want the cars, but I'm going to be honest. Like, Studios does have more than just the cars that I want. Like, they have a lot of animatronic pieces that I want as well. So, it's not just the cars, but the cars are a big one for me. So, roller coaster known as the New Mexico Rattler is close to the park, which is a city block with 50-foot height limit. The coaster's layout was specifically made to wind through the park. Let's see. For the sports, I think they should add like an additional tab like No Limits 2 or something like that. I think that would be really cool. Again, I think it would be awesome to have like a custom option for, you know, supports. Have like a library of generic supports and be able to just having the ability just to like click and choose where you want that support to go, that type of support. It would save a lot of time on custom supporting, and then we would only have to do like complex support pieces piece by piece. The rest can just like generic normal pieces can really be super easy to do, you know. It would save us a lot of time on custom supporting, for sure. I know the game's kind of dead, but like a game that did kind of do that was Theme Park Studio, and that was one. I don't know if any of you guys played that back in the day, but it was before Planet Coaster was even a thing, and I was trying to leave out hope that was going to be like the next generation for theme park games. Ended up not being it, but you know, it had some cool features on there that I think would be awesome to have. And it had like an that's kind of how you did the supports on that game, is like you would click on the coaster track and you'd have kind of like a support already that you had selected, and you'd use that support on it. It was actually really, really neat. And I wish kind of like more games had something like that. And you can kind of do the same thing in No Limits 2 as well. So, I mean, I guess No Limits kind of had that first, so I guess they kind of get more credit for that than anything, but than anyone else. But yeah, yeah. Animatronic editor, where you can customize your animatronic like character editor and then give them a variety of different animations. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but I think it is. I would love to see more of the interactive pieces here, because obviously we have these animated pieces that we can attach scenery to, which I think is a huge step forward. I hope we get more options with these things, and because obviously these are incredible to have, because you can actually kind of make your own animations in a sense. But as for like full-on animating characters, as great as that would be, like you could have a timeline, and then I guess you could kind of do something like that. You would have like a character, and you can actually like have a timeline, and they have like all these movement pieces, like you can move their elbow, their hands, and stuff like that, their head. That would be a lot, though, I feel like. I do love that idea, though, and then you could really like create your own animated characters. For like that'd be huge for like dark rides and all that fun stuff, for sure. I think you should add an additional tab like in No Limits 2 or something like that. I think you already said that, but I already responded to that. But yes, I think an additional tab for supports would be cool. If you didn't hear me talk about it already, but yes. Park Studio got an update a few months ago with the Mach Striker. Yeah, I did see that. The train looks insanely good. I really like that game. I haven't touched it in a long time, and the developer did give me like early access to some stuff at some points, but it was all when the hype of Planet Coaster 2 was happening, and he got a little upset that we a lot of us prioritized Planet Coaster 2 over his game, and he got a little upset. He got a little salty with creators, and kind of, I wouldn't say completely blamed creators for that. I don't want to say failure, but like, because he's still updating it. It's just kind of more of a hobby, I think, now, instead of more of a huge project that he was going for. But it's a good game, and I hope that he continues to develop it, and I would love to revisit it sometime, but I don't know, just kind of like blaming the developer or blaming the creators for not showing off his game when Planet Coaster 2 is like the big thing coming out, you know? It's kind of the bigger title in a sense, so. And there's just not a whole lot you can do in that game right now, so Planet Coaster obviously has a lot more you can do when it comes to like coaster types, piece by piece building, and you know, don't get me wrong, the game looks incredible though, graphic wise. You did a really good job with that, and I do appreciate that entire project. So, but I think Planet Coaster 2 is just a little bit more user friendly, I guess you could say. I don't know. Not trying to, you know, disrespect that game in any sorts, but did kind of leave a little bad taste in my mouth when he kind of ranted on about creators abandoning him and, you know, not, you know, giving him the recognition he needs. And I get that, you know, developing a game's not easy, not cheap, and, you know, you can't spend a lot on advertising, so you rely a lot on content creators to show off and everything like that. So I can understand a little bit where he was coming from with that, but yeah, Planet Coaster is kind of it's why I'm here. Universal Great Britain. I haven't actually. Have there been any more details about that park? I think it's awesome seeing more Universal parks pop up, honestly. So I think it's great. Do we know anything like what kind of attractions are going to be in there, or do we know much about it? I haven't really looked up much on that park or that reveal. I don't know if they really revealed much or not, because I think it would be really cool. I think it's amazing to see so many. So I saw it has concept art, but I didn't know if we had like any official word on like all of the different attractions that are going to be in there, or if we really got much. Save park. Go ahead and save this up, just in case. It's looking pretty good, though. It's starting to come together. It looks a little bit more complete now. It's not fully complete, but it is starting to look a little bit more complete. Now we're going to have a little unload station right here, along with the load station. I just haven't utilized the unload station stuff that much, and I want to utilize it in some of my blueprints, so I decided to put an unload station on this ride. So maybe we could operate with more trains. Let's see. We can have up to 3 trains here, and I would love to do 3-train operation. But I do need to adjust the interval for the cars. So let's change it to at least 60 might be too long. Let's try 45 seconds and see if that helps. Hopefully it works. Sometimes the minimum interval can be a little spotty. It doesn't always go the way it needs to. Walking, running, jumping, waving, whatever. Gotcha. On the animation stuff. How about these trains? I love the color scheme on these trains. Just the blue and black look pretty sharp, man. This isn't glitched out, is it? Yep, it's glitched out. The unload stations do glitch out sometimes like this, which is unfortunate once in a while, so hopefully they can fix this. Like, this train just rolled through it instead of stopping and unloading, and it just goes directly behind the other train. It should be back here. It's too far forward. Alright, after it gets over that lift, then this one's immediately dispatching. So the interval is not working yet. Sometimes it takes a few cycles to get it correct, though. Like, this one's already up the lift, and it's barely even gone over the tilt track. So it's going to sit there at the top of the lift until it hits the brake run, which is what we don't want. And then this one will immediately dispatch as well, which is, yeah, that's not the interval we want. Come on. Maybe it's too low, but let me just try 60. Come on, dispatch interval, you need to work. Happy we can build proper Vecumas now. Yeah, I'm glad we got that, the de-themed version, and it allows us to do more than 2 cars. I'm glad they did do that. If you have the jet one, it still only allows 2 cars. See, what is this glitch? Stop doing that. It only does it the first time, I think, and then after they get rolling again, it fixes itself. Alright, let's make sure. Let's see if the dispatch interval's working. Do not go after that. Okay, now it's working. This doesn't need to dispatch after it goes over the lift hill. 60 seconds might not be long enough, though, because it's already going now, and it hasn't even... Yeah, we're going to have to go even longer than 60 seconds. So let's go 80 seconds. Add another 20 seconds on that. That should be pretty close. So, anyways. Also, I was checking my dimensions I use for floor plans, and there's no way SDC fits. It's supposed to be the lowest on maps and scale billboards. 160 by 90. It fits. I have it. And you can argue if that is too small, but like looking, I've built a little bit. We can go into it, into that build. I think it's pretty accurate. It might not be 100% perfect, but I think it's pretty accurate. If that makes sense. I'm using the No Track Limits mod. It allows us to add elements from other rides onto other rides, so I can do drop tracks, I can do tilt tracks on anything. Switch tracks added to all of the rides. The only downfall is, if you do look closely here, this track piece is actually like the old Vekoma track. You have to look pretty close to really notice it, but it is the old Vekoma track, so it isn't perfect, but oh yeah, you can theme this to whatever you want because we can attach the scenery pieces to them. I haven't gotten anything attached on this yet, but alright, I don't really want this dispatching until at least it's close to the brake run. Hopefully. Alright, it's starting to go already, which is still pretty... we'll see. It might have enough time to get through the layout, but... because it does have some time, but it's got to hit that brake run before it gets to the top of the lift, because this is not blocks. The tilt track is not block section, so... I don't think you can add a block section to the tilt track. As far as I know. Looks like it might not stop up here. It just has to clear this brake run. It's gonna be close, though. Does it stop at all? It does not stop. I think it just has to clear right here. So at least it doesn't stop. And we have an unload station, so even if they are waiting back here a while, it's okay because the guests will get off right here, so... I really hope to get a coaster DLC at some point. I just need some stuff like Mock Rides, Bomb Coaster, Big Dipper, Vekoma motorbike. Yeah, I would love the motorbike, man. That'd be awesome. Family Boomerang, maybe even a new gen Vekoma Flying. That would be awesome. I would be 100% okay with all that. I'm kind of thirsty for a DLC in this game. I'm not gonna lie. I really want to start seeing DLC again. I know a lot of people kept saying they gotta fix the game first, you gotta fix the game, we gotta do this, gotta do that. But I'm starting to scratch for more pieces and more content, like extra content, like coasters and rides in the game. I know we're getting a little bit with each of these updates. They are adding rides, like a few returning rides from Planet Coaster 1. We're also getting de-themed coasters, which is nice, and we're getting some cool features added and everything, but... You're right, measured than the maps in SCC. It's like 700 by 800. The map is bigger, so you're good. Excited for that again. Yes! I was going to say, it seemed pretty accurate. Why did this stop? I think we just need to add a little bit more on, not by much, but actually I think about 100 seconds should be perfect. Seems pretty long, but I think 100 seconds is about right. And then we can have 3-train operation here. There's no mid-course, but I don't think we need one, but having an unload station allows us to kind of have that 3-train operation. That's what I would do for this ride. Glitches out on the first cycle, but that's alright. After that. An access coaster would be perfect, yes. An access coaster, also the next-gen Intamin Blitz, so we can make something like Velocicoaster, and then allow it to have swing launches. I think that's when swing launches will be introduced. When we get that Intamin Next Gen. You know, like Pantheon and stuff like that. And like Velocicoaster kind of style. I really do think that's when they will add something like a swing launch. Do manufacturer DLC packs? That would be pretty cool. Obviously, they don't have the... they're the pretend ones, so you can add VNN or Vector. A Vector DLC. Stuff like that. As it's called in-game. You got VNN, Vector, Big M Rides, which is Mock Rides. Intamin is Outamax, so you could have like an Outamax DLC. That'd be cool. I just hope the pricing is a little bit better than what they did on that first DLC. I know a lot of people complained about that, rightfully so. I feel like for the price point, it wasn't enough for what we got. I do like the pack, I do like the stuff that was in it, but I feel like it could have either had more stuff or the price should have been a little bit lower. Automax is some of their best naming work. I actually absolutely love the way they named that. Automax is beautiful. I thought that was brilliant. Alright, this is about a little bit better time now. Dispatching when it's towards the closer to the end of the layout. Realistically, in real life, it probably wouldn't dispatch until it hits the brake run, but being Planet-Coaster, it's fine. So this one would be loading, this one would be unloading back here. Just need to space the trains out properly. That's what we need. I'd buy literally all of it, just take my money. I know a lot of people don't like DLC, paid DLC. I think it's fine because I don't mind supporting the developer if it means that we get more content in the game and that they continue to update the game. I think it's perfectly fine, you know? And if you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it. No one's forcing you to, you know what I mean? But if you want to have a lot of this awesome content in the game, you know, you got to get it. You know, I'm going to have every DLC no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to get it, so... Yeah, this project is starting to come along quite a bit now. I feel like these sit here for a while, though. That is one thing. That's another reason why I have that unload station, so the guests don't have to wait too long. They can get off the ride. But I think it'd be more realistic the way it is right now, so, I mean... Gives you plenty of time to load your trains. And then anybody waiting on the brake run, I mean, they don't have to wait. They'll be coming off the unload station. So there'll be an unload station there. I'm going to save one more time since I did make those changes real quick. And I'm going to head back to the menu. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's head into Silver City. I kind of want to do a little bit of work on here. I haven't worked on it in quite a bit now, so... This still isn't, like, final. I don't know if this is going to be, like, a legit thing. I just kind of started on it. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Before we get in here, let's head back to the main menu. I'm glad it doesn't take long to load. What I'm going to do, actually, is we're going to fuse two of these together. So we're going to go to Fire in the Hole real quick. I'm going to save this as a blueprint, and then we're going to import it into the Silver City build. That way we have all of this in the Silver City build. Go ahead and select everything here. Don't need the floor plan, because that's already waiting for us. Didn't have everything selected. Alright, let's just have everything. Everything. Alright, and that's just one piece, so I don't have to worry about that. So if I moved it... the only thing is pathing. What about the paths? Why didn't you select paths? Or can I not move... Oh wait, that does move the paths. Hold on. It does move the paths. You save it as a blueprint. Before it gets too big. New creation. I'm just going to zoom in on the Fire in the Hole trains. Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole. 5th. I don't really need this blueprint after I get it placed, but... Okay, so if we go to coasters, it should be in here now. 5th. Make sure that it's everything I need. I want to make sure everything that we've done so far is in here. Looks like it is. Perfect. Alright, now we can head back out. Maya Parks, and Silver City. The only thing is, I don't know if I want to work on Fire in the Hole much more until we get back to that area. Mostly because of the terrain difference. And it could be challenging to move everything around if I get everything built. Because you can only move so many pieces at once. So if you don't have it in there properly... So if you have too many pieces, it might not allow me to move it. So this should be fairly easy to line up, though, because we already have the walls already here, which acts as our barrier of where the building is. So that should go about right there, right there. Do I have it a little bit wide? Or does this go out further? I might have it a little wide. You know what? It's okay. Because we have some space. We can actually adjust that if we need to. So it's not a big deal. In all reality, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, let me just make sure this is about in the same spot. See where that exit ramp is. I need to make sure that's in the right spot. I mean, I can always adjust it a little bit too, but the exit for the ride is right here. Right here, so realistically it needs to be around there somewhere. Gotta get the wall kind of... I mean, I can adjust that a little bit. It's not a big deal. Then we have the last bit of queue line that goes back there. This is the outdoor queue. Walls, furniture, and so on. Have you seen that someone already made a mod that allows you to do swing launches? Yeah, I already I have it installed. We were talking about that earlier. I did install it the other day, so I do actually have that mod installed right now. So yeah, there's Fire in the Hole 2.0 sitting over here, ready to... It's kind of weird seeing it in 3D, like with the Google Maps, you know, floor plan. It's kind of cool. It's kind of complicated. It is a little bit complicated. I did get it to work. Took me a minute, but I did get it to work. But look at that, we got stuff in here. Fire in the Hole's in here, and a little bit of the entrance. Alright, let me get up my reference for this. I do want to put in... There's a few, really good Silver City 360 videos that allows you to look around, so... They're from, like, 2022, but I'll take it. Silver City... I usually put Silver City 360. And you get a lot of Time Traveler, but there is... I just gotta scroll down a little bit. And you just gotta find... There it is. There's multiple ones of it. And I just need the one that goes through the entrance. That way we can get a good picture of it. Good picture of that, the entrance area. This is before they changed the color of the sign, too. They changed the sign to where it is slightly different. The lettering is now white, kind of like a creamish white, instead of the yellow like it used to be. I am going with that. Replicate. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best to get as close as possible. Will I succeed? We shall see. We shall see here. Okay. Let's go ahead and maybe get a little bit of the roofing started up here, and it's just gonna use like the regular tile roofs. I think there's one of the really good ones is the western one, actually. The wood tile roof, that's what it is. Not that steep. Let's go the medium one, like this one. So we can see where this building goes to, about right here. I'm gonna get this all as close as possible to the original thing. When it comes to like the mapping here, if we have to do some slight adjustments, that's okay. Ticketing, great way to start. Yeah, we're in the ticket booths here. It's exactly where we're starting. I'm probably just gonna put in some like information booths, obviously, to replicate it. So it is a little bit functional. So we'll have some guest flow heading into here as well. This is where you'd buy tickets and, you know, all that fun stuff. Great stuff. And then, of course, go around here. Again, the worst part about this floor plan is the way this was taken. It is very much a lot of trees. A lot of trees blocking the view of, like, pathing and stuff. So, it will still be quite a bit of a slight challenge, but you know what? It's alright. The dreaded HR building. Yeah, this is HR right here as well. Human resources, and the offices are right back here. I actually made this, it's not perfect, as you can tell, but I did make this, watermill myself. It doesn't look great, but it gets the job done, I think, for now. It's not perfectly shaped, you can tell. Maybe I'll redo that at some point, but I tried to. I'm not great at that stuff, so. Now, let's see if we can get the extension piece here to extend this. Have a little bit of a hangover piece here, so that it hangs over. And then we have, like, there is a little deck area, but we do have a roof that kind of goes over as well. If I can find there. Oh, here, this guy. This kind of guy. This dude. Right here. Got our grid size. It kind of slightly goes over. Like that. Kind of blends right into that roofing there. I'm gonna put that there. It does kind of have like an orange texture for its wall piece. So let's see if we can find a nice wood piece that can replicate that. Find a good one. Here, these guys. This is the texture I'm looking for. This wood piece. Actually, not that one. Clicked on the wrong one. Not that one, but this one. And we're going to recolor this to that orange color it is. Like a pretty bright orange, honestly. It's actually like the same color as this, so let's go ahead and copy this color. I'd say it's actually a little bit brighter than that, so we're gonna go with that. Go with that one. We're gonna go with that's okay. Okay. And then we have a little wooden, kind of little kind of like a little overhang patio kind of thing going on. That hangs over slightly. Let's see if we can go to our actually find a wooden wall that we could actually place down underneath it. That'd be perfect actually. So let's just use. It'd be cool if they would have added like the non-gridded pieces to these walls. I don't think they did. Just literally ported all Planet Coaster walls. Excited uniform shape, but I haven't used it in a years. Don't know if that's even an option. Excited uniform shape. What are you even talking about? Are you speaking English? I don't speak all that. I have no idea what you're talking about. Something about 3D modeling. I have no idea what you mean or what you're trying to say. I'm sorry. Can't import into this game yet, right? Yeah, there's no Theme Maker's Toolkit. I figured that's what you were trying to say something about, but yeah, there's no Theme Maker's Toolkit in this game. At least not right now. I don't know if there will be. Keeping my hopes up that they will eventually implement Theme Maker's Toolkit, but I don't know if they will or not. Because I know they want to try and keep the game optimized pretty well, and I know Theme Maker's Toolkit struggled with that sometimes. The optimization, so yeah, I think Theme Maker's Toolkit was fairly late into Planet Coaster 1's life, so not saying it won't happen, but I would definitely prefer it because it wasn't in Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo. It did not appear in Planet Zoo at any point. Maybe it will at some point. Still, they're still updating Planet Zoo, so. But it was never an option in Planet Zoo either, so. But I think for not having it, I think we have a really solid amount of options still for not having that, so. Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work in the new workshop either. I feel like it would have to be like on the Steam workshop somehow. Maybe it could be its own separate thing for toolkit items. Maybe, I don't know. I think it would be cool if you could make it work on the new workshop and then allow, like, I think it would be really cool if, like, console players could also download or use them as well. I find that very unlikely, but I think it would be pretty epic. Trying to find good texture for this. I'm really looking too far into this, I can tell you that right now. A lot harder into this than I should. Honestly, I'm just trying to find, like... You know what? We're just gonna go with this. Save the same color, because it needs to match that. We're gonna go here, and I think I'm going to shrink this down a bit. Scale tool. So it's not as thick. We want it to line up with this as well. Gonna go out here just a little bit and be at the base of the roof here. Should be good. I'll turn my light on so I can see inside here a little bit. So we can add the windows and the doorway. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would not probably be available for console players, but the thought of it would be cool. Just saying, like, if you're playing Planet Coaster, if you have the option, always choose PC. You're gonna have the best amount of options. And then, I don't know why console players get so angry that they can't do the things PC players can. And I'm like, because you're on console, like, it's not very... It's really not that hard to figure out why. Consoles are not going to be as powerful as PCs, so... I mean, some PCs aren't as powerful as consoles, but, like... In that case, they can't really run the game, so... that well. But, you know, like, it's just like... Why y'all get so mad? Like, you should know that it's going to be limited compared to PC. They're like, why can't we have custom audio? Why can't we have custom videos? Because I'm like, you're on console, and most either Sony or Microsoft probably wouldn't even allow something like that in the first place. Well, maybe. I'm not sure. Like, just kind of depends on the situation. There's not really a good way to implement... Like, how are you going to upload those files into the console? Like, there's not really any way of doing that, so... Like, it's just not an option to do that. Like, that's why you can't add those files in there. It's just not an option. Like, I literally wish they had all those options. I wish they could do all those things. It's just not an option, though. Just be happy that the game is on console, period. I never thought it was going to. I'm honestly just surprised that it is available on console, okay? And I know it sounds mean, but, like, honestly, console kind of holds the PC version of the game back. Because they have to cater to the console players, too. Which is understandable, but, like, if they didn't have to do that, the game wouldn't have to worry about having so many limits sometimes. And again, I'm happy for that console players get to experience Planet Coaster. I really do. But I'm serious when I say, like, the console editions do kind of hold the PC version back a little bit. Because again, they're going to have to cater to the console crowd as well. You can't just focus on PC sometimes. They also got to be like, well, how's this going to affect console players, you know? So it kind of sucks for us PC players, but because, like, the potential could be a lot higher sometimes. But, no, it's okay. I think it's okay because, like, I think it's fine that console players get to play as well. Like, I don't see a bad thing about that by any means. It's definitely not a bad thing. And I prefer as many people have the ability to play as possible. I really do. But they shouldn't be complaining that they can't do as much, because they can't. Like, PC is always going to be the superior version of the game. Like, it's just... I don't know how anyone could argue that. Like, I don't think anyone would argue that, you know? PC's going to have more powerful and be able to do more stuff, but... And when Planet Coaster 1 was going on, I was very shocked. I was big on saying, like, there's no way this is coming to console. It is a PC game, you know? But they surprised me, and they did bring it to console. Which I was very happy about. I was happy for those console players that actually like, man, they get to experience the game now. So I was happy for them. And I was glad I was proven wrong. One of those moments I was happy that I was proven wrong, you know? Happy, happy, happy. Coming out with the hot takes tonight. Look, I love the console community just as much as the PC community. I was there, you know. I was at the point where console was where I was at, you know. I used to only play on console because that's, you know, that's what I had. I was one of them. I was there. But for games like Planet Coaster, for games like, say, The Sims, yeah, they have console editions. But the superior version, the best way to play, is going to be on PC for those games. I don't, without question. For the best possible experience, that's where you got to go with. I don't think anyone's gonna deny that, so. But like, some of my favorite gaming memories was playing on console, so. I remember back, I was big on Xbox 360 days. Man, those were the days. I remember just after work, coming home every night, playing some games with friends. I miss those times. Like, I don't really do that anymore, so I really do miss those moments. I do miss those moments sometimes. Had a lot of fun back then. Playing GTA 5 and friends and everything. Lots of fun memories there. I don't know what this will actually be at beforehand, but I actually do my own. Bum, bum, bum. But for me, it's just like, some games are just best played on PC, and then like I just kind of established PC because like PC can also do those games that I was playing on console, so once I kind of got into the PC gaming world, you know, that's when I was just like, man, this is like, I can do a lot more on this, you know? Just allows me to do more. And like, there's games on PC where I prefer a controller, you know, like instead of mouse and keyboard. Like I do that a lot on like first-person shooters and stuff. Yeah, I always use a controller for that. I just prefer controller for like first-person shooters. I don't really play first-person shooters very often, but when I do, I definitely do those. So definitely gotta use the controller. It just feels more comfortable to me. My wife always gets on to me for that. She's like, you gotta do mouse and keyboard. It's so much easier, or so much better. Nah, I'm casual. I'm a casual gamer when it comes to that. I'm too casual. First-person shooters. Just never been my thing. Actually, let's go with like Plink. Plink pieces are gonna be our our best bet here, I think. Stuff's so expensive, dude. You have no idea. Like, do you remember back in 2020 during the pandemic? That's when stuff was expensive. That, like, GPU prices were ridiculous back then. I'm not complaining anymore. Are they expensive yet right now? Yeah, I mean, they're a little expensive, but, like, nothing compared to, like, 2020, man. That was a time that sucked. Like, you just, everything was just triple, quadruple the price back then. Like, ugh. Now that was the bad time right there. That was the dark time. GPU prices in 2020. Anybody remember that? I hope not, because it was awful. I don't think we're ever going to go back to prices back then, just in general. Now companies think it's okay to charge $80, $90 for games now, too. Like, that's starting to look, they're trying to make that the normal. We can't let that happen, man. Talking to you, Nintendo. Don't do this to us. Like, I'm not buying a Switch 2. I was considering it before it was, like, the reveal and everything. But, yeah, I'm not buying one now. Prices are way too outrageous. I can't afford one anyways. That's why, because I just can't afford it. So I ain't gonna buy one. Alright, that's an exception. If Planet Coaster 3 was $100, I would probably be stupid and buy it. But at this rate, probably will be. I mean, Planet Coaster 2 is what, 50? Planet Coaster 1 was 40, I think? 40, 45? I think Planet Coaster's still reasonable. I mean, like, $50 is... maybe not in the state that it was in when it launched, but, like, right now I think it's definitely worth $50. Like, I will take $50 over, like, 90, of course. Like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I can't afford a Switch 2, so, like, sorry, Nintendo. I'll have to stick with my Switch 1, that's what they suggested. Well, if you can't afford a Switch 2, you're just gonna have to stick with the Switch 1, that's what they said. Like, come on, bro. I don't think the price of the console's as controversial as much as the game pricing. $450 is still pretty expensive, and I think it's a little bit overpriced. I feel like they shouldn't have gotten much more than $400. I think $400 would have been, like, the highest it should have been, personally. Which is still kind of high. I think it should have been, like, $350 or something, honestly, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. Unfortunately, but, you know, there's not much we can do about it. And they're probably going to get away with it, too. I hate to say it. They're probably going to get away with it. Charging that much, man. Sad. Sucks. Really sucks. I love Nintendo, man. Just sucks that they're going to get away with that. Or probably get away with that. And companies are going to follow suit, and then it's just going to be the norm, and it's going to suck. AAA titles are going to start being like $80. Ah. Not much we can do, though. We're just kind of stuck with it. What is the size of What's the size of this? 60%? Can't go too much smaller. What's it now? 49%? I know I have the scaling mod, so. A project like this, I don't really care if I use scaling mod. Some of my blueprints, I'm a little bit more cautious about that, because I'm like, I get it. Some people don't use mods, but especially console players aren't going to be able to download it properly, but you know what. New Doom is also $80 now? I don't know. I don't know anything about Doom. Really? It just sucks. Especially, like, cost of living and just in general, it's harder to... It's been really bad, so, like, the fact that everything's going up in price and, like, you can't even enjoy you can't even get video games cheaper anymore. Like, it's just, you know. Maybe indie games are where it's at, man. Indie games aren't overpriced. Most of them, you know. Might just all have to start playing more indie games. In fact, that's what I've been doing. I'm playing a lot of indie games. Because, you know, their pricing is usually pretty fair, so when it comes to those kind of games, or, you know, those games, you know, that's... And I wish AAA, but, like, AAA titles are just going to be like, no, we need our money now. You're going to pay that much. You're going to do it. Whether you want to or not. We know you're going to pay these prices. Sometimes they're right. But we got to resist sometimes. We need to resist. Otherwise, they're just going to keep getting worse with the pricing, man. We can't let them win. Can't believe there's actually people defending Nintendo for those kind of prices too. Like, that's just outrageous. Man, I don't want to live in a world where games are $80. Yeah, indie games are doing great, man. Like, I enjoy so many of those. Like, yeah, the graphics for a lot of indie games aren't going to be fantastic, but I mean, I don't honestly play on a games for just graphics, you know? More to games than graphics. As long as you're having fun, graphics don't really matter. That's kind of like why I liked Nintendo for so long, because obviously, you know, they didn't focus on just graphics all the time. They just focused on pure fun sometimes, like making their games really fun to play. But now they're just getting to that, and, you know, they're kind of usually that cheaper price point. They're usually that more affordable console, too. That more affordable console with more affordable games and such, you know, and they had that audience, you know. That's why they were so successful, if you ask me. And with, like, the Switch and everything, because, like, it was an affordable console, you know. At, like, what, $300, you know. But now it's just, like, it's going to be just as expensive, and if not more expensive, than the competitors now. Kind of sucks. I just don't know why they would make that decision, but hey, if that's what the direction they want to go, I mean, that's up to them. Art direction over graphics, yeah. Let's go. I just remember back in the day. Back in my day. Back in my day, man. Back in those old times, man. When video games, for online gameplay and stuff, when games really had to be good before they released. Because they couldn't patch them. Internet wasn't a thing. So, like, online updates weren't a thing. That wasn't a thing. They actually had to make the games good from the start, because they're not gonna be able to update them, for one. They can't just patch stuff later, so they had to make them good right out the gate. And that's what games used to be like. And it's sad that we don't have that anymore. Most of the time, companies put out unfinished games, and they put out unfinished games, and they're like, oh, we could just patch it later. And unfortunately, Planet Coaster 2 kind of fell into this in this category itself, so as well, so which kind of sucks. Yes, the game is getting to where it needs to be now. It did had a rocky launch, you know. I'm not going to deny that. And I'm one of Frontier's biggest supporters, you know. But they did kind of mess up there a little bit. You know, they put a game out before it was really ready to release. Some even might say now that it's still not in the spot it should have been at launch. I think they're really close to that point now, though. So, yeah, I will say that. I think they are kind of close to the point where it should have been at launch. I have enjoyed the game even at launch, you know. I still supported them. I still agreed that, you know, there was a lot of stuff that should have been in the game at launch. And I don't disagree with that. And I don't disagree with anyone that had that argument that was expecting more. But I think the expectations were a little bit too high. People put their expectations, rightfully so. You know, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have. It's actually very justified. It's very justified. And, you know, I think Frontier understood, and not many companies would admit that they messed up. You know, and that, you know, admit that, you know, yeah, you guys are frustrated, you know, like, and I applaud Frontier for actually stepping up and saying that, you know, like, they admitted that, you know what, you guys are right, and we understand you're frustrated, and we want to make it right, so we're gonna put out these free updates for you guys and try and get the game where it needs to be. And that is what they're doing right now. They're focusing on free updates that are just trying to get everything that people had issues with, and really just trying to fix all the bugs, get the game in a really good state before adding more DLC. That's what people are upset about, that they are charging for DLC before the game was quote-unquote fixed. And boy, have they done so much in a short amount of time to get this game where it needs to be. And I really hope it can be saved. And I think it is. I think the player base is starting to come out a lot more now. More so than it did before. And I've been kind of keeping an eye on, like, how many players are playing at the same time. You know, how many players they have, and it's up there. Like, it's got a lot better than it was, you know. I think Planet Coaster 1 was still slightly ahead of it, but I think more people have Planet Coaster 1 still after, you know, 8+ years of, you know, of that game being out, so, you know, but it's all good. Yeah, the monthly updates are definitely a good start. Going to be a long road, though. I think they've done such a fantastic job with these last few months of updates, and I hope they do continue them and keep getting all the bug fixes and getting everything perfect. It's never going to be perfect. I mean, no game is. No game's ever going to be perfect but completely bug-free. Like, I just don't think that's realistic. But we got to get it to a state where, you know, the game is obviously as playable as possible and everything. Yeah, this is Mainly wanted to get this detailed today. That's kind of what I wanted to focus on a lot of today. Focus on this front piece. These front pieces here. Kind of take my time. And let's see if we can do like the top pieces here. Not editing the building like I should be. It is pretty light up here, but we're gonna darken it a bit. There's a roof up here that you're not gonna be able to see that does kind of look a little more backstage-ish, I guess you could say. This is where HR will be. And on the sides, you'll have like these roofs, so you can't see, kind of like not able to see a lot of this backstage stuff going on here. Maybe a bit hidden. Backstage roofs, I guess you could say. Not sure if it has like a corner piece there. We could look at that. See if we can find a spot reference there for that maybe, but not a whole lot of references for this spot right here too, leading over to HR, so I might have to do that myself. And then of course we have OMP off to the side here. There's a lot of windows and such with it. So with this building right here, this is the big gift shop that you walk through when you're exiting. We had to get that in there as well. I want to take my time with this and really just kind of, you know, really get these details in here and make it look nice. Like, even though these floor plans are nice, when you do zoom in on them and you're trying to get to the, you know, the details here, it can be really kind of hard to see them sometimes. Like, this is going to be a little challenging here with the entrance because of all the trees that are in the way. It's kind of hard to see the buildings that you need to see. Like this, I believe, is guest relations. Yeah, that's guest relations. There's another little building right here that's like an office. The supervisor's office. That's right here next to it. You can't even see that. That's not even visible here. So you're gonna have to guess a little bit on that. At least this does give us an insight where kind of generally where everything's gonna be though, which is good. And you can kind of see the outlines of the roads. So like we do have the corkscrew path here. You can't even see this pathing here. That's crazy. I didn't think these trees were in. There's this many trees around the park, but I know there's a lot, but yeah, that's what floor plans are good for, but it's really hard to see the paths too. Still gotta, of course, like that's what we're gonna rely on is like photos, and that's why I have this 360 thing up. Really, this just gives us the layout of the park. I just wish I could see the paths better a little bit. That would be the most helpful. You could see the paths a little bit better, but... And obviously we're going to have to do terrain as well, because obviously Silver Dollar City does not sit on flat land. So it's going to be a little bit hard to implement that with the floor plan, because you're going to have to raise the floor plan up and down depending on where you're at, and it can be a little bit difficult to kind of figure that out. This is flooded mine right there. I'm kind of like looking at it and I'm like, am I going to be able to fit flooded mine in there? It seems that building seems a little smaller than it should be. Okay, we go in here. I don't know what I would use. I'd probably use... We don't even have things that I would need for flooded mine. I mean, that ride system doesn't really exist. But I would have to use something along the lines. Like, look how big this is. I don't know how we're going to do flooded mine. Look how big that takes up, like, a majority of the building. That's a big flat ride, but I just don't see how I'm gonna fit flooded mine in here. Like, even if I use something like one of these log flumes or something, like, that's not gonna fit in there. Like, there's a 0% chance that fits in there. What about like the raft ride, the Mystic? See, this is a little more reasonable. Like, that makes sense. But, like, is flooded mine really that small? That's weird. Like, this building feels too small here. I don't know why, but it looks a little small for what it is. Like, everything else kind of fits. Like, I feel like Mystic's gonna be fine. But, like, when you account for flooded mine, man, like... The station takes up like a quarter of the whole building. If you were to build some sort of station in there. So far, that's going to be my biggest worry is flooded mine. I don't know, maybe I'll just... I could do exterior only on flooded mine, and it might be my only big option. I did try to do it in the Planet Coaster 1. It's just way too small. The building's just small, man. I didn't think it was that small. But, like, other things like Fire in the Hole, I'm going to be able to get that. That's going to fit. So, that is kind of strange. That flooded mine is, like, that small. I feel like that building's so much bigger than that. That's weird. I don't know. I don't know, man. Alright, let's kind of take a comparison here with flat rides. We have the Magnificent Wave Carousel. We should have that in game. We do have that in game. So we can get an idea of how well that fits in there. I'd say it's a little bit bigger. Obviously it's a little bit bigger, but not by much. Like, that's still pretty close. If we're going to compare of how big, like, this is compared. I do think this is slightly smaller than what it should be. You know what I mean? I do think this is slightly smaller than it should be. As compared to the real thing. So I think... maybe it's just me or Planet Coaster's models are a little bit bigger, but... That facade and there's a warehouse behind. No, this is just the building. This is not... Flooded Mine. This is the Riverfront Playhouse. This is a theater right here. So that has nothing to do with Flooded Mine. This is the building for Flooded Mine right here. This is it. I guess it goes right here too. This is also part of the building. This and this. So like from here to here. So it's not just this part. It is this part now that I'm looking at it. Which is still like you'd have the station would be about right here. So you have all of this, and that's it. Like, you're not going to fit that in there. The raft ride's, again, not a good comparison, but, like, this is about where the station is, right here. And then the entrance is over here by the train depot. But yeah, there ain't no way I could fit a water ride in here. I mean, maybe a little bit. It might be somewhat possible, but, like, I know it goes this way. I'm like, I have no idea what Flooded Mines layout is right now, but, like, I mean, if you intertwine, or if you were smart with it, maybe you could fit it in here, especially with the mod. The mod allows me to do, like, tighter turns and such. I mean, maybe it's possible. Maybe I'm thinking too hard about it, but maybe, I'm not sure. I do think that the game, like, the flat rides are a little bit bigger. We don't have balloons in here, do we? That's not in Planet Coaster 2, is it? We don't have balloons in Planet Coaster 2, do we? Do we? I just thought about that, like, we don't have the balloon flat ride, do we? That sucks. I can't do fire spotters. Fire spotters will not be a thing. Finally, the update is out tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I've already played it a little bit, so because Frontier again did send me an early access code, beta code for it. So I've been playing a in development version of it, a work in progress version of it. That's one that was like, we need the balloons, so we can put in fire spotters. Which means I can't really do much in Fireman's Landing, or Fire District, sorry. Here's the new plaza area, which in this case it doesn't look great, but how is it? I mean, it feels pretty good. I mean, the main thing is restaurants, and also being able to change the pool colors is really cool too. I love being able to do that. I would love to show you guys, but I'm not able to show off gameplay until tomorrow, so I would love to show it, but I would get in trouble if I showed it today, a day early, so I'm not allowed to show any gameplay. Which kind of sucks, because I want to share it, but I can't. I do wish they would allow us to, like, share it maybe a day early. I think that would be fun, so it kind of gets some people hyped up about it, but I think it would help sell it a little bit more. I mean, they're not selling anything, it's free, but get people to start playing the game more, you know. Because I'm sure with each update, more and more people are coming back to the game. That's my guess. Alright, I'm done for now, and Sword Dollar City for now. I wanted to do some progress. I know it wasn't much. It was very little progress. Not much at all, really. But but yeah, I have the beta build, but I can't. I have to switch it on Steam to the beta build, and so I can't accidentally show something right now. This is the regular game, so. Oh yeah, I don't plan on bouncing between areas on the floor plan. I'm going to do one area at a time, starting at the front, because we have to worry about the terrain as well. So, like, it would not be a smart idea to switch around a lot of places and using the floor plan. Mostly because of the terrain in Silver Dollar City. Since it's not flat, I'm going to have to change the elevations of stuff. So, it's really a better idea to kind of start in one spot and work our way around, so sure. Absolutely. I have a whole idea about that. Like, I'm not gonna mess that up. I'm not gonna try to. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna head off for tonight. We'll definitely be live streaming tomorrow with that new update, so I don't know exactly what time I'll be streaming, but I do have I'm gonna go hang out with a friend for lunch tomorrow. I'm gonna get some lunch. So it'll probably be a little midday, later night stream. Well, not like super late or anything, but like for tomorrow, and we'll check out all of the new stuff in the update tomorrow. So I'll probably actually work on Winland Adventure Resort and work on the new restaurants on there. So I'll be excited to work on those. So that's probably what we're gonna do tomorrow, is head into Winland Adventure Resort and actually edit or start getting those restaurants built in that we have been trying to do. So live stream the lunch. And we're gonna go get some pizza. I'm excited. But I'm gonna head off right now, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I appreciate you guys being here. We're gonna try and keep this live streaming more often, more of a thing, because I want to keep putting out more live streams for you guys. Trying to stream more often, since again I am having those rendering problems right now, trying to get videos out. So I'm not going to be getting videos out very often. So why not live stream, right? So, but thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you already haven't, you know, make sure you hit that sub button, join button if you want to support us further. So become a member. Members get some perks, so don't have to. We only have a handful. I'd love to do members only streams, but I don't have enough members yet. So, but I'll see you guys next time, and make sure you have a great day and even cool tomorrow, guys. I'll see you guys later. Thanks, and bye.